This is Snow White, at least as we've all known her since 1937. This is Rachel Zeigler, and Disney wants you to believe this Colombian actress can play Snow White, whose defining feature, by definition, is, quote, skin as white as snow. And this is the actress who will bring that vision to a live action movie coming to you on Thursday, March 20th, 2025. I don't even call her Snow White. I call her Paperback Brown. Well, one of these things is not like the other. So here we have Snow White, a white Germanic character. And here we have a brown paper bag. Now, which one does Rachel Zegler's skin tone match? Is she Snow White? Does she look? Does this look like she's as white as snow, or is she paper bag brown? Please like, subscribe, and notification. Like me up real quick to help me move through the algorithm, and we're right back to the program. This is her dressed up the other day as the actress who originally voiced the 1937 Snow White in the animated film from Disney. And this is ironic that she's now playing up to the 1937 movie, who she derided as being dated and said that the prince was a stalker and creepy and that he was weird for being interested in Snow White and that we are making a Snow White. Notice she has no writing credit, but she says we are making a Snow White that's not going to be dreaming of true love, as awful as that is, love and romance and family and anything traditional. Of course, that's to be derided with great derision. She's not going to be dreaming of true love. She's going to be dreaming of being the leader her father said she could be if she was fierce, fair, brave, and true. In other words, a true boss chick for the ages, Rachel Zegler. Now, this is Paper Bag Brown pretending to be a white Nordic Germanic female from a German, ancient German fairy tale. So this is a still from the movie. And here is another still from the movie where she's with the nightmare fuel CGI doors, where Disney, while being all for representation of everybody, so you have to make a Colombian replace a white woman character whose defining description, again, is skin as white as snow, but somehow real life dwarf actors couldn't get these 7 great jobs that would be like the pinnacle jobs that you could ever get as a little person. They can't get those jobs because Dinky Dinklage decided to torpedo that. Doesn't make any sense. And then I want to look at this still from the movie where apparently, since she's not dreaming of true love, instead of being a leader, she's going to lead a revolution. And here's one of the real life dwarfs that they actually did put one in the movie, but that's the creepy prince there. But I guess they're all going to now be revolutionaries instead of having a romantic fairy tale where she becomes Sheikh Guevara. Sheikh Che Guevara, I guess, is her inspiration. Her fellow South American is who Snow White is now going to become, aka Paper Bag Brown. This is what it's all about. This is Paper Bag Brown is now Che Guevara because they're going to lead a revolution. And then in this movie, what's really hilarious? Okay, so the Queen is being played by none other than Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. And she's supposed to look in a mirror and say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" And then the mirror's going to try to convince her that this chick is who Wonder Woman should be jealous of. You could have, you could give her this, or you can get with that, and the mirror's gonna try to convince us that this is the fairest of them all, and she is jealous of this. This is what we're supposed to buy. We're supposed to buy that this mid chick is the fairest of them all, who this Amazon model, international model, is supposed to be jealous of. Now this has turned off all both Rachel Zegler's sassy boss chickness. This whole intersectionalist feminist thing, this whole thing where in every movie nowadays you have to have this stoic boss chick take over everything, and it's kind of crazy how they're trying to make the Snow White out to be as if um, women are oppressed in this movie. The powerful person in the movie, who's the antagonist, is the queen. A woman is already the boss in the movie, in the original telling of the story. But that's not good enough. The fact that Snow White is this demure young lady who's respectful, who in the original she cleans the house of the doors that she's staying in when she goes on the run and is hiding from the queen. In this movie, you'll see she has them doing all the cleaning. She can't do cleaning and be motherly out of a gesture of kindness, because you can't have a kind young woman out of a gesture of thankfulness that they're letting her live in their house. She can't. When I go on vacation somewhere and I've stayed with people, I like to clean up behind myself, just almost like just as a thing. I'm in your home. I would do that just as a grown man. But you can't have Rachel Zegler. You can't have a young woman cleaning behind males, because that would be slavery. Even though they're letting her stay in their home and helping her hide from the queen, she can't even do an act of gratitude when you do it, because it's doing something nice for males, because that is slavery and that is a denigration to her womanhood. And this whole kind of attitude that she's now going to be the revolutionary leader, Che Guevara, of the magical forest, and this whole notion that every single movie, whether it's Ray, whether it's Captain Marvel, or uh, every movie, the woman has to usurp every male, and not just that, but she has to be this stoic, uh, asexual power broker who, at 101 pounds, dripping wet, can whoop every man in sight, can beat up 250-pound linebackers, and she's just strong and powerful and stoic and doesn't need any help from anybody and can't show gratitude to anybody, has turned a lot of people off in this film. People are tired of the boss chick. So here's some local theaters in my town. I looked at this last night. There was nobody. There was nobody who had bought any pre-sale tickets. That was 2 nights out. Now we're a night out. We're less than 24 hours from the premiere of this movie. So let's look at 3:30 tomorrow, the first showing in a regular theater. All of the seats are still full. You can see two seats up and down the. Well, this is a rare pattern. Why would two seats be taken 5 rows in a row, but nobody is buying any seats? Let's go to 5 o'clock on this more premium screen here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. It's taking a long time to load. Huh. Took a long time to load. 5 seats sold. Nothing. Empty seat. All the blue is empty seats. The seats that have been taken are grayed out. Everything here is available. This is less than 24 hours. This is um about 15 hours before this movie is going to open. Let's see. It'd be 12 hours till 10:30. It's 10:30 at night. 10:36. So 12 hours would be 10:36 in the morning. It opens at what, 2:30? So that's another 4.5. Yeah, so we're about 14 hours away from this movie opening, and there are almost no sales. Almost no sales. This is Hollywood. This is Regal Hollywood in Nashville. Yeah, I think this is the Hollywood 27. So let me go. Yep, that's the Regal Hollywood 20. This is the biggest theater in Nashville, the most populated. Let's go to some of the I think these are the most regular screenings here. So let's look at a good time. Okay, at the kids are out of school, the parents are home from work. They have something. They can get their kids something to eat, and they can go back out at 5:30. I know we got some sales here. This is gonna be half. This is at least half full, right? Those other ones were too early. They're in the day. Still no sales. Of no sales. Nobody's trying to see this movie. Okay, let's try another theater. Even though this is the biggest movie theater in Nashville, it's been the biggest movie theater since forever, for decades, since I've ever known it. Let's go to let's go out to Opry Mills Mall. Let's see what they're doing at IMAX. Let's go to another day, actually. Is this the That's Thursday. Okay. Maybe people aren't going on Thursday. They're gonna wait till Saturday afternoon, take the kids. People are gonna get together on Saturday afternoon, they're gonna take the kids, and they're gonna go out to the IMAX theater about midday or so. Let's say 1 o'clock. That's Opry Mills, that's the IMAX theater. Nothing on the IMAX, they have X's on the ones that have been sold. Look at this. Nine seats or 12. There's three in the middle there. 12 seats have been out of this IMAX theater with about 100 seats. 12 seats. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, man. Let's see. Okay. Maybe people don't want to pay for IMAX. It's hard times. People don't want to pay for that. That's too expensive. Let's see. Standard seats. Is that the Regal? Which one is that? It's still Opry Mills Mall, but instead of IMAX, Regal seats. This is a big theater. This is probably the second biggest one, the Regal 27. It's at this huge mall that's out in Nashville, Opry Mills Mall. It's so huge traffic all day and night. Let's see midday. People want to take the kids out. They don't want to pay IMAX prices, 220 on Saturday afternoon. I know it's gotta be sales. It's gotta be sales. Something. Another 8 people. So if the high endpoint for family movies last year, 1.4 million for In and Out 2. And these theaters are only about 10% filled. And I looked at some other ones, and it's about 10%. Rachel, no, what's her name? Not Rachel Zeigler. Beyond the trailer, I forget the name of the host. She was looking at the same thing in New York and Los Angeles, and it was about 10% occupancy for pre-sales. And if you're only selling 10%, that is if the high benchmark for family film right now is 1.4 million In and Out 2 about 7, 8 months ago, that would be $140 million worldwide box office for this movie. Okay, let's say Walk Up is going to be half. Let's say this audience doesn't do a lot of pre-sales. They're not going to know what all kids they're taking. Maybe their neighbors' kids are coming along, the family friends' kids. They're going to get together, figure it out Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, right before they go. So they're going to do a lot of walk up. So let's say walk up is half of the sales. Pre-sales is half. Walk up is the other half. That's that's probably projecting for about 280 million worldwide. And why? Because of sassy boss chicks running their mouth, being nasty. She out here saying all this crazy stuff. She's all got her neck rolling and she's full of sass and piss and vinegar, and people are tired of it. And that's why this movie is gonna flop and flop hard. The boss chick is dead. Nobody wants to see that in film, and nobody wants this sassy attitude from women, young women anymore. Everybody's tired of it. In the same way in which this movie is going to flop because of it, the same way the Marvels only did 200 million, little over, I think 200, 2.3, sorry, 230 something $million. That's about what this is going to do. Like I said, the projection I just did, if 10% of the high water mark, 1.4 million is 100, is 10% of pre-sales of that would be 140 million worldwide. If you double that because of walk-ins, that's about 280 million. And because people are tired of sassy boss chicks. It isn't working anymore. These women need to get in order. Stop with the nasty attitude. Stop with the smart know-it-allness. Stop with thinking that the world revolves around you and people are supposed to jump for you, and stop thinking that you are the center of everything in the world, and everybody else is supposed to adjust to you. We're not. And because of that attitude, and because of this notion that everything that is traditional needs to be displaced by the preferred pronoun people, or whatever other preference of people that Hollywood and these intersectionalists want to interject into the culture as replacements for any and everything and everybody else, and thinking that's going to work. It's not going to work. It's failed and flopped in the marketplace. And this is just going to be really the nail in the coffin for all of this foolishness. As I noted before with that movie, I can't remember what it's called right now. The movie Emily Perez, about this trans man who's this man who becomes a woman. He's a drug dealer and a horrible person when he's a drug dealer in Mexico. But when he becomes a woman, then all of a sudden he's a wonderful human being just by virtue of being trans. That trumps everything. A low life murderer when he's a man, same person trans, now is a wonderful nightingale human being. And it's this whole cultural aspect of shoving this crap down people's throat is a lot of why Trump won. Not just because of in movies, but in the culture overall, this same effect. But the fact that it's so pervasive everywhere, where you yelled at and told we have to use stupid pronouns and call an individual they. People are tired of this crap all the way around. And this is why you get a Trump win in November. And Hollywood still hasn't quite learned, but they're gonna learn today. They're gonna learn this weekend when this movie flops horribly. And also, I video on this a year ago, kind of halfway predicting this same thing, that this kind of condescension and disdain from Rachel Zeigler, aka Paper Bag Brown, that's her being all sassy about every moment I'm in a dress I need to get paid for, which I generally agree with the sentiment, but the sassy, condescending attitude is just so disgusting. And this is what has turned people away. And it was clear this movie was going to flop a year ago. They pushed it back a whole year. We knew it wasn't going to work. It was never going to work because people are repelled by this kind of sassy boss chick and this attitude and the whole aesthetic of the boss chick, and the whole thing that comes along with the whole intersectionalist feminist attitude. It's a wrap. It's over. This is going to be a major flop, and we're going to sit back and laugh. I'm your Botcha 2007. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, notification bell. Definitely like me up. Push me through the algorithm. I'm out.